Let's go to the live broadcast.
Here.
Baby.
How do I do
Whoa,
this?
400 people in here.
Here,
Hey everybody, this is Dennis here. I wanted to do a live broadcast for Fake Guru TV. This is my thumbnail here. I thought I'd show you that. This is 100% live. Right here, I've got to show you, first of all, Brandon Hassler. He has a great video. Love it. He does a parody of Here in My Garage. Let's take a look at it.
Here in my garage, I just bought this piece of 2006 Nissan Sentra, and it's really fun to drive around Provo. But you know what I like more than materialistic things? Hard work. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 3 garden tools I had to go pick up at Home Depot. It's like the great Thomas Edison once said, there is no substitute for hard work. Now you may remember...
Love it. Love the garden tools. Awesome. I like this. Brandon Hassler.
My Vegas video on YouTube, and I go to Vegas not to brag. Again, it's about the hard work. In fact, I keep the Sentra here as a reminder that if you don't have a car, you'll never actually be able to get to Las Vegas.
Great little 1-minute video there. Love it. So I'm going to go over in this live broadcast all the fake gurus. I want to go over, it's like I said, it's Fake Guru TV. It's going to be unedited, unscripted. Right here, CoffeeZillo. Love it. This is one of my favorite fake guru channels. He's got a bunch of different videos here, all on fake gurus. Love them all. Love them all. So let me show you one. I think the one that I like is right. See, let me hear where'd it go. It's right. This one here. Where did it go? 1 second. Let's see here. Right. Oh, here we go. I'll go ahead and play this. This is a great video. CoffeeZillo does a 10 red flags for fake gurus. Love it.
Cringiest fake guru that we've seen so far, John Crestani.
as they say in the hood.
If you haven't seen his ads, okay, they're pretty crazy. They promise a lot, okay? He's all about the Benjamins.
And I'm going to show you how to make the Benjamins, how to make friends with some of these guys, make time for money.
Okay, stop it. First of all, I don't mean to nitpick here. Do you trust anybody with this haircut? Do you really? Do you trust your money with a...
CoffeeZillo is definitely one of the best guru channels. He hits it right on the head. I love this channel. Check it out.
A haircut like the bowl cut thing? Anyone can become a fake guru these days. This guy's living proof that anybody, you got a hipster beard, you got a terrible haircut, you could promise money. You just need a rack, as they say in the hood.
I'm going to show you the way, and it's really exciting on the other side. So let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. On the other side of the paywall.
Let's get it. I'll see you on the training.
And I'm going to hurry up and sign up for his exclusive live webinar, which he just invited me to. I'm super excited. And he's going to show me how to make tons of money. Okay, let's sign up for this real quick. All right, we're in, boys. Let's go to the live broadcast.
Here.
Baby.
How do I do this?
Whoa, 400 people in here.
Is this in the camera?
Yes, John, we can see it. Of course, you're holding it right up to the camera. Of course we can see it. Dude, he gets you to sign up to a webinar by showing you a rack, as they say in the hood, and then goes in his webinar, the first thing he does is show you another rack. This guy's so cringe.
$100 bills. This is called a rack, okay? This is a rack, as they say in the hood. $100 bills. And you can see it, and I'm actually...
Dude, John, wait, whoa, John. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something right now. This is not affiliate marketing money, okay? That's drug money, dude. John, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't trust this guy immediately. If anyone has money like that on the table, he's like Walter White. This guy is scat.
Okay, I found it. Here's the video. This is the red flag video.
It doesn't mean they're off the table, but if you have enough red flags, everyone knows you have enough red flags, you run for the hills. So let me give you my top 10 list. Red flag number 1, mastermind. If they say mastermind at all, come join my mastermind. Red flag 2, cars. They have cars in their videos all the time, and they're always showing you their wonderful cars and how they're just living the life.
Here are my
Red flag. I mean, you look at people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, people like that. Do they show off their wealth? No, they don't need to show it off. They got it. They got it like that. Oftentimes, the people who show it off. What's next? Anybody who disparages real jobs.
And I don't know about you guys, but I know as my job as an accountant, it probably would have taken me 100 years to save that much.
4 reasons why having a 9-to-5 job is actually high risk.
And they start doing the thing we talked about, go to school and get a job, right? Yeah. So with that, this was his lesson number 1, and the rich don't work for money.
Red flag. Oh, this one's huge. Absolutely a massive red flag. Let me invite you to my live webinar, because what basically all that tells you is that they're lying. Because the live webinar thing is a gimmick. They're not actually live.
Love the flag. He's waving the flag there. Love it.
They're pre-recorded. They're like set up to look live.
You say in the first bullet point to remind them why they should come to the live webinar.
Yes.
But, from what I understand, your webinars are now not live anymore, so they're recorded. So are you open up front?
Good question. Good question. Make sure the live thing I can convert, I can sell. Now you automate it, right? Now you can scale. Make sense? Yeah?
Yes, it does. But once you get to the point and you have an automated webinar, do you then are you up front and say it's automated?
I don't.
Pre-recorded.
No, I don't.
You give them the impression that it's not.
Yeah.
Live recorded webinar.
Live recorded, I like that.
When anyone puts that much time and effort into deceiving you and making you think something that's not actually true, you have to be wondering what else they're lying to you about. So red flag on that. And a lot of gurus do it. Like Dan Locke does it. John Crestani does it. A lot of those gurus do the live webinar thing that's not really live. Red flag. Paid course. Huge red flag. Why is someone who's a millionaire who has all this money need to sell courses? Well, red flag. Does it mean that all paid courses are scams? No. I feel like I have to reiterate this a million times. But just the more red flags, the worse off you are. This is a really good one. Younger than 35. I hesitated putting this in because on the one hand, I'm younger than 35, you know? I'm not trying to be ageist against myself. But let's put it this way. To be a coach, you kind of have to have done it all. And most people under 35 just haven't had enough life experience. Your life barely starts until you're 20. So to say that you...
Love this video. Really excellent. Love all the points about the red flags. Okay, here we've got another guru exposing here. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit of this.
Claiming himself to be a business consultant and be the best high-ticket sales consultant. He's created a persona centered around being the boss in the Bentley. Fancy cars, fancy suits, fancy living, private jets. You know, just the typical internet marketer. It's all an image to get you to buy into his BS.
There you go. There's the jet shot. Here's the exotic car shot. Spencer Cornelia. It's a great channel. Check it out. Let's watch a little bit more.
He's an internet marketer that gives vague business advice to get you to buy into a sales funnel so that he can sell you on his insanely overpriced internet marketing products.
After
I was making about 10,000 a month as a young guy, 21,
So
22.
at your peak, your copy services are $10,000.
$10,000. And I was working one client, couple clients per month.
After watching hours of Dan Lok content researching for this video, this was actually the first video I came across where there was any mention of being a successful copywriter. Well, let's assume it's all true. Then I think it's fair to assume that he did make pretty good money as a copywriter. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Based on what he explained, he met the mentor at a seminar, started working for him and learning the trade of copywriting, and then began making $10K a month as a copywriter. Is this true? It might be. I think we can assume that it is. I think it's possible. Then he explains that he started his own copywriting company, and that's when he began making a lot more money. It seems like he got all of his first clients working for his mentor, Alan Jacques. Then he starts his own company and then immediately sees hyper success. That's a little bit of a red flag for me because he was working under this mentor and making pretty good money. Then all of a sudden he was able to start up his own company and using the same clients, using new clients. I have no idea. Then he saw this hyper success. Is that true? It's possible. I'm not believing it based on the level of success he's claiming. In a clip I'll play later, he said he accumulated $150K in debt. So in order to pay off his debt and become a liquid cash millionaire like he claims to be, in just a few years is extremely difficult, especially in a business like copywriting where these clients of his aren't exactly creating a new product every single month. If you go out and land someone that's willing to pay you $10K for a sales letter copy, then, you know, obviously that's landing a big client, but you would need to do multiple of these clients every single month for multiple years on end to pay off this $150K in debt and become a multimillionaire. By going through his YouTube collection, I can see that by around this time is when he started to try and establish himself as a business guru. I think he was able to see how much money can be made on YouTube and selling courses through seminars at this time and saw that it was much more money than he can make as a copywriter. A big issue I have with this video is that it's titled What I Learned Losing $2 Million, 3 Best Lessons. But at no point in this video did he discuss anything about losing $2 million. Like most of his videos that you'll come across, it's all clickbait and mostly vague. And one of the biggest issues I have is he now claims to have lost millions of dollars, but then also became a multimillionaire. So we're talking about in order to become successful on the level that he's claiming in just a few years as a copywriter, he need to lose a few $1,000,000 and then also make a few. It's just starting to seem a little sketch to me. He's branding and positioning himself as this business guru and business expert, even though there's very little indication that he's actually ran a successful business at all. If we take him at his word, at this point he's only been a successful copywriter, but as I dug deeper, I'm not entirely believing that as well. And at the end of the day, he's just like every other social media charlatan. He focuses on some large net worth or income to build up a brand. He does it through social media and by building up a following, because a lot of people like following success, of course, is that he's able to build up this following so that people can see that he's successful, even if it's just a characterized version of himself. And then at the end, when you have this following built up, then you can create some high-end course to sell all to these blind followers, and then that's where you make your real money. And essentially what happens with these people is that they will build up this image of themselves. They build up, imagine like a characterized version of themselves, this super financially successful person. And as they sell all these courses and seminars, they become the financially successful person, and they basically morph into that characterized version of themselves.
Charging $1,500 to $2,000 a month with local clients, how much do you want to be charging?
Oh, that's, you know what, I never actually thought of that before. Maybe, you know, if I could get my retainer up to $2,500 a month, that would really help my profit margins for sure.
Okay, and what's your cost of delivering the service?
It's usually, you know, both 300.
Okay, how many clients do you want to be working with?
Well, the goal is, you know, I think the first milestone I need to get to is 50.
Notice how edited this video is, which makes it blatantly obvious how staged it is. This video has more jump cuts in it than he has followers. The conversation is set up perfectly to help Dan send out signals that he's this high-value sales closer. It couldn't be.
Now, speaking of editing, just to let you know, I'm doing a live video here, but I have to pause it every once in a while just to take a break. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the rest of the video here.
Any more scripted. Dan also has no sales calling experience, but now he's running a business around selling high-ticket clients. To my knowledge, he only has success as a copywriter, which obviously is sales, but selling over the phone in cold calling situations is probably a lot different than being a copywriter. To me, it's still two different skill sets. When I watch these videos, I can't help but notice that it's very obvious that basically what Dan did is he read a lot of sales books. He came across Grant Cardone on YouTube, on social media, saw him killing it, and figured out that he could do the same, because all of his videos are just generic sales advice that you'd find in $10 books at your local bookstore.
So for 2 hours, I charge 10K. How do you feel about that?
Listen to a sales pitch, 10K for a 2-hour sales call. That's insane. If you have any sales calling experience at all, you can tell that this is scripted right when you listen to it. Does not sound anything at all like anything that goes on in the real world. And here's basically what his high ticket closer program really is. Dan building up this YouTube channel based on deceit and then selling his followers on a very expensive program centered around sales. He's living his high ticket closing brand now, but sadly the only people buying in any interaction are his blind followers. To his credit, Dan Lok is a savvy marketer who has built up this character as this sales closer expert and this savvy businessman who runs all these successful businesses. But the only tangible success that I've seen that he's built up has been his social media following. But just like most charlatans on social media, they're only successful because their brand is predicated on some character that they built, and the character itself becomes famous first. You ever notice how Dan only talks about how many successful businesses he runs, but he never shares any details about them? You never see any offices, you never see any employees. Take a minute to go watch Gary Vee videos, Gary Vaynerchuk, and see how transparent Gary Vee is. He's always in his office, he's got all these employees, he's got so much content out there showing how much of a real businessman he is. And compare that to Dan Lok and you'll see how easy it is to see how fake Dan Lok is. We're on Dan Lok's LinkedIn. Let's do a quick look at see how successful Mr. Lok was. Let's scroll down to his history. And we start with TEDx Talk in 2016. In 2015, he had a mentor show. But again, this is all after he claims to have been a millionaire and super successful. Then we see a few different businesses or different jobs, I guess, that he started himself. He's the founder of Dan on Demand, a mentorship program. He's got this YouTube, Closers in Black. But I want you to notice the dates. 2019, 2018, 2018, the host of the Dan Lok Show. He was this YouTube celebrity. Notice how everything is so self-proclaimed. Even here in 2009, this is the earliest date we've seen. He was a real estate investor, even though he's mentioned nothing about real estate in any of his videos. But just look at all this. Entertainer, TV host, YouTube celebrity. And then if you look at the dates of these, we've got Dan Lok. And I want you to really notice where in here is the success outside of YouTube. I don't see anything about his multi-millionaire copywriting success. I don't see any mention of that at all. And then all of these are 2019, closers.com, copywriters.com. You know, if he's claiming to run all these successful businesses, maybe they're successful. I haven't seen any indication that they actually are. But just a quick look on his LinkedIn is really raising red flags to me. Who doesn't love a rags to riches story? Every time I see anything about Dan Lok, it's self-proclaimed multimillionaire with no reason to believe he had a multi-million-dollar net worth before social media started. In this rags to riches story, he never touches on how he became successful. He consistently brings up how he started 13 businesses and failed at all of them. Then he became a multimillionaire all of a sudden. He talked about how he went into crazy credit card debt and ran out of friends to ask for money. And this is where I think some of my insight into Dan Lok came out. Basically, when you come into a lot of debt, when you run up the credit cards like he says he did, you're going to be willing to do whatever it takes to get out of that debt. He even said that he ran out of friends to ask for money. And I think once he started seeing the money he could make by selling courses and seminars and blowing up on the YouTube by creating this character of himself, he figured he could make a lot of money, which is generally what you want to do when you're in a lot of debt. And another thing is he mentions that he had a really important mentor when he was running his lawnmower business. But in his interview with Omar in the Rags to Riches interview, he says that his first mentor came years later at the seminar, his copywriter friend, Alan Jacques, that I mentioned previously. To me, this is a little bit of a red flag. I mean, of course, with all the content he has online, there's probably going to be some type of consistency issues. But the fact that he is starting to sound a lot like Tai Lopez and Robert Kiyosaki raises major red flags to me.
Go ahead, sell me this pen.
Everything about Dan Lok in his videos is just vague, simple, generic business advice. And on all of the videos, it sounds like he read a book or two and then makes a video about the concepts covered within the book. Nothing about his teachings comes from experience, in my opinion. I've now watched a few hours of his videos just to prepare for this video, and at no point have I felt like he runs an actual business outside of his social media funnel. And I know nothing about Dan outside of these videos, which is telling to me. A lack of transparency is usually a major red flag.
Content creator, I don't charge my stuff. You guys know, all my stuff is free online.
Here's Dan just a few years before realizing how much his blind sheep followers will pay for his courses.
Because you don't have a particular program, right?
I don't.
Maybe in the future you will,
I
but...
will never have a program.
No?
No, I'll give all my stuff away. No, why do this? No, I have one. Actually, I'm going to take some of my programs from the past. I'm going to upload to YouTube that I charge thousands of dollars for. I just upload to YouTube. It's all free. That's what I'm planning to do actually next month. Because I don't need to make the fucking money from selling those type of shit. I make money growing my company.
Why not package up a very simple sales course that you can find in any $10 book at your local bookstore and start selling it out to your millions of followers? Once you start seeing how much money this guy can make, that's, I think, when he changed his mind.
10 times your finances, 10 times your business, 10 times your marketing, 10 times your life.
10x. 10x your marriage, 10x the kids, 10x your time off.
There we go. Grant Cardone.
To leave you with this, his high ticket closer program is 7 weeks long and costs $2,500. For 7 weeks, you apparently learn all about how to sell high ticket clients on your services. The problem I have is that the people signing up for these courses aren't running businesses before signing up. They get sold that the course will help them learn how to have the easiest path to six-figure incomes by selling some magical high ticket clients. So you learn some generic sales advice in the course, but when the course finishes, what exactly are you selling without any product or service yourself? Time to give Dan Lok a score. We have 5 criteria on a scale of 1 to 10. If the subject scores less than 25, then they are officially a charlatan. Above a 25, then they qualify as being authentic and trustworthy. First, we have authenticity, which is the truth behind what you share. I give him a 3 out of 10, 30%. I found a few inconsistencies in his speeches, multiple instances of straight up plagiarizing other internet marketers, multiple occasions of needing to really investigate if what he was saying was true, and the LinkedIn profile raised way too many red flags. Transparency. How much you share. I'm going to give him a 2 out of 10, 20%. If you go through his catalog of videos, way too high of a percentage of his videos is really vague. It took way too long to figure out his story, and not knowing anything about any of all of these businesses that he apparently runs keeps this score really low. Next is replaceability. This is your ability to replace the guru's info. I give him actually a 1 out of 10. 10%. None of his advice comes from experience, and you can easily find all of his sales advice in 2 to 3 of the most popular sales books. Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort wiped this guy clean with their sales advice, and they offer basically everything you need to know for free or for a significantly lower price than High Ticket Closer. Next is belief in success. Am I a believer in this guru? I give him a 3 out of 10 for 30%. I think he had some marginal success as a copywriter, even though it was hard to justify my decision. It's very clear that his real financial success came from social media and funneling his following into his High Ticket Closer course, which is how he really became rich. Last, we have deception. How much are you negatively affecting your following? I give him a 5 out of 10, 50%. I have a feeling a lot of people get value from Lok, even if their efforts are misguided. They spend way too much money on his courses and are receiving advice from a charlatan. I can't deny that he has a huge following, and I'm sure some segment of the sheep herd are improving their life with his mentality and the character that he's created. Dan Lok's total score is an 11 out of 50, easily making him a charlatan. To anyone watching this, please stay away from this clown. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and make sure to hit...
I completely agree with Spencer. Spencer hit it right on the head. Let's go ahead and move on to the next video. Okay, next video is Reaction Wolf of Wall Street Destroys Grant Cardone. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Let's get right into it.
I think people need to learn how to talk to people. Right. Keep talking to them no matter what their interest is. Sales training, time management, personal efficiency, closing, negotiating, personal finance.
I want to try to
extract as much as I can from you about how you go out and train salespeople, about your life, because I want to give this massive to the audience, right?
Well,
So
everybody wants to know who's the better salesman, right? That's what they keep saying.
I don't know, you know.
Well, it depends who you talk to. You ask Jordan, he's going to say he is.
Listen, I honestly, I think that I love to sell.
Yeah.
But one thing I realized pretty quickly is I'm even better at training salespeople than I am at. I mean, I'm a great salesperson, but I really excel when something about. I love doing it. Like when
I don't like sales at all.
I love.
Did you notice that there? Obviously, they're there to discuss sales. But from the get-go, Grant Cardone makes it clear, well, if you talk to Jordan, Jordan's the better salesperson. I don't like sales.
If you haven't seen this channel before, meet Kevin. He's a real estate broker in the Los Angeles area. He's got a lot of great content. Go ahead and check it out.
Anyway, it's a very interesting way to start a podcast that's clearly going to be about sales. And then watch Grant Cardone's behavior. You're going to see him smiling. He's really excited. He's bobbing up and down. He's engaged. This is going to be a great baseline for the interview because you'll see his personality and his demeanor changes a lot. This is Grant's happy state. Everything's good right now, but it's going to change dramatically from this.
The fish was going bad.
Got it.
And I'm like, I have to sell.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to go
So
bad.
what was your rap? What was your pitch back then?
Jordan specifically asks Grant, well, what was your pitch when you were selling fish? And Grant responds, and notice how Jordan actually fills in a better pitch for Grant.
The fish was going bad.
Got it.
And I'm like, I have to sell this.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to go
So
bad.
what was your rap? What was your pitch back then?
Hey, guys, I got fish. I got fish.
I'll give you really good prices. They're
There's
about
my
to.
straight
I don't
line
tell them now they're going to go
persuasion.
bad.
I got fish. I just caught them. You want them?
Look at the faces here because something very important just happened. Jordan fills in Grant Cardone's pitch. Hey, I've got good prices. Grant realizes that Jordan sort of filled in his pitch. And then what Grant does is rather than really agreeing with Jordan, Grant doubles down on the pitch that he had.
I got fish.
I'll give you really good prices. They're
There's
about
my
to.
straight
I
line
don't tell them now they're going to go bad.
I got fish. I just caught them. You want them? And that's how I still sell today, by the way.
Okay.
Grant says, that's how I still sell today. And Jordan Belfort's like, okay, really?
Hey, guys, I got fish.
Now, this part ends up being very important. Grant Cardone goes from this very excited and exaggerated state to getting questioned by Jordan Belfort. Watch for when Jordan says really in a questioning mindset, and watch how Grant Cardone's personality
Most businesses are walking around trying to
Sorry about that. That's an ad. I'm going to go ahead and skip through. I'm going to pause here real quick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my own personal video. 5 fake sale gurus, bad advice, all hype, Lopez Cardone, Vanderchuck, Locke, Dean. I'm going to go ahead and roll it. 3, 2, 1.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves. The real reason I keep this Lamborghini here.
Here he is, the exotic car fake jet king of YouTube. Fake guru. Fake tarmac shot. Fake jet. Fake supercars.
Because it wasn't that long ago that I was in a little town across the country sleeping on a couch in a mobile home.
Hey, this is Dennis. I wanted to go over some of the bad advice or really bad advice I see on YouTube. Now, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Coming from the sales gurus, and then I want to show you good advice on YouTube and the positive channels you can substitute with. Also, this is off topic of what my channel is focused on, but okay, again, what I said, this is my video. I made it. I felt I had to make it. 5 fake sales gurus, bad advice, all hype, Lopez, Cardone, Vanderchuck, Locke, Dean. I'll go ahead and roll the rest of it. Thought it was necessary. First of all, I want to mention the ads, the skip ads, and it has a supercar, Lambo, Ferrari, or any expensive car, and also a private jet, a tarmac. Safe to say, it is not worth watching. Clickbait. They are selling worthless programs that are designed to take your money or just to get you to watch so they can get another view on their channel. Now, we all know YouTube pays per 1,000 views, so you watch, they make money. Now, I want to mention Social Blade. Social Blade has a lot of good information. All you have to do to research a channel is come up here and put in the name. Enter. It's going to bring up their channel. It's going to show how many subscribers they have. It's going to show how many uploads they have and views they have. YouTube pays per 1,000 views. So for instance, here's Grant Cardone. Social Blade is a great resource to be able to do research on channels. Okay, first bad advice I want to show you is Cardone. Let's watch a little bit.
Numerous books on sales, actually written 8 books, 13 best-selling business programs.
First thing I want to mention about this video is the cash flow hat. I noticed the hat right away. That would be my first indication that this is a hype guru video. Then I noticed that Cardone gives some of the worst advice about sales that I've ever heard. Let's go ahead and watch.
I recently did an interview about in Los Angeles, and this guy kept asking me sales questions about what would you do if you were at the door? What if they said this? What if they said that?
Now, what he's talking about, he did an interview with Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, on his YouTube channel.
I got to learn the exact thing to say. I have to know how to say it, how to pace it, the tone of it. I was wrong.
This would be some of the worst sales advice I've ever seen given. The worst. I believe completely opposite of what he says. There is a trick. There are good things to say. Words do matter. Saying the right things matter. The worst advice ever. Now here, this is the actual podcast. Grant Cardone versus Jordan Belfort. Sales training. I'm going to go ahead and play it.
You just wait. You sit and wait and do nothing. Then you go over there and you pull up 60 fish. Every line had 60 fish.
What he's talking about here is selling fish.
Snapper about this big. So I tell the guys, I'm like, hey guys, can I have your fish? I mean, we can't eat it all. So we put it on ice. I stopped door to door. This is how I started my career. Door to door, I was selling fish.
To homes? To
restaurants. To businesses.
Got it. Okay.
Again, this is Fake Guru TV. I hope you're enjoying it. Live, Fake Guru TV.
State Farm agents. Hey guys, I got some fish. It's fresh as right here.
Jordan starts asking him a couple questions. Watch real close the questions that he's asking and Cardone's response.
Plan, or I didn't know what I was doing, so the fish was going bad.
Got it.
And I'm like, I have to.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to go
so
bad.
What was your rap? What was your pitch back then?
Hey guys, I got fish. I got fish. That was my. I got fish. I just caught him. You want him?
Now, I went ahead and bleeped out bad language.
So if someone's not interested there, right? I mean, there's all these false gurus and people, the experts of the hour, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
it's so good, dude. If you watch it, you will use it again.
But what if they don't want it? What's the fine line?
Oh, you saw the unreasonable. You're like the follow up.
No, that's the question there. He just asked him, what if they don't want it?
No. I mean, like, okay, so you have two types of people. You have buyers and non-buyers, right? Like, what do you mean?
No, I don't believe that. I think they're all buyers.
You think everyone's a buyer?
Every person, every human being you meet is going to buy something.
Whether
they might not buy my fish, but then they're going to buy insurance, or they're going to buy groceries, or they're all buyers.
But what you're selling fish, though?
In that case, I was selling fish, but that does not make them a non-buyer.
Of fish.
Belford's taking him to school. Cardone doesn't make any sense.
Fish, though.
That moment.
Right, no, if they don't. My point is, technically,
every buyer's a buyer.
Question, okay? So if you're a salesman, a young salesman out in the field, let's say you're selling insurance, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you knock on someone's door and say, I'm not interested in insurance.
I understand.
Would you keep pushing and pushing and pushing?
No, I totally understand. But I don't believe that they're not. Not interested is an interest level.
Okay.
Not interested is better than before you hit that door and they said they weren't interested. Not interest. No interest is a level of interest.
Okay.
Like if I have no coffee in my house, I'm talking about coffee.
Okay.
Zero, none.
That absolutely does not make sense. I don't understand at all.
And is a quantity.
What's the sweet spot? How do you know when it's better to not waste your time?
There is no sweet spot.
Okay.
right? Like, because even if they hit the sweet spot, it's about volume. I mean, there's no success without volume.
That does not make sense at all. I completely disagree with that.
And so there's no trick in this game. Like, if a person wants to be really successful in sales, real estate.
What about time management issue? What's the time management in terms of
Look,
new doors versus old doors?
I don't know. I
To know when to not to follow.
I think the young salesperson should be taught, hey, look, there's no trick, dude. There's no fucking sweet spot of this game. The sweet spot, if there is a sweet spot, it is about creating tremendous volumes of activity, having lots of people to talk to.
Horrible advice. I do not agree with that at all. You can see it on Belford's face.
So hitting lots and lots of doors.
Or taking lots of phone calls.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is like for someone starting out, right? Like, because so many people get into sales, and the thing I see them doing, a lot of people, is they waste their time talking to they try to go so deep into a non-buyer. You disagree?
I think people need to learn how to talk to people.
Right.
Keep talking to them, no matter.
Great point. How to not talk to a non-buyer.
Who wants to speak to everybody. Like, he's going to speak to someone who's, say, have no money, they have no job, and they want to sell a $10,000 product, and they waste 45 minutes in that call. Would that be smart or not smart?
He shouldn't have started that call with one product. Why?
Because he works at a company that has one product.
That's stupid. Go some other place. Because
So
you can't
change your
sell
job
one
then.
product.
Okay.
I mean, how good that one product is. Nobody can build a business or any kind of success on one product.
Cardone is just all over the place. Can't believe what he's saying. That's just really bad advice. Next, Dean Grazios. I first wanted to mention the jet shot / tarmac shot. Now let's go ahead and watch.
That exist today. Why haven't you reached your next level of income, life, and wealth? In most cases, we've been lied to. We've been told that if you find the right opportunity and you work hard, you can be successful. And that's simply not true. Millionaires, billionaires, and success.
Now I want to mention the title here of this video, The Hidden Cost of Bad Advice, and what it's costing you. What is costing you is watching this guy talking about bad advice, so he can get another YouTube view and sell his programs. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit.
Successful people have realized you need the foundation for wealth, the habits, and that's exactly what you'll be learning on the Millionaire Success Habits podcast. All success starts here. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Millionaire Success Habits podcast.
So we've got the typical tarmac shot, the jet shot, and the Tesla shot. All three in this video in the first 45 seconds.
So awesome to have you here today because I want to talk about the most costly advice in the world. That's the most expensive.
The most costly advice definitely is wasting your time watching Dean. I want to mention the jet shot. Let me show you one of the tricks these guys are using. This is a company out of Los Angeles, California. They have a jet on a trailer. There's no wings you can notice. Here we've got the inside of the jet. It's for filming. It's for photos. So check out this jet shot. Look familiar? Next, Dan Locke. First thing I notice is the suit and then the Bentley. I'm going to guess the Bentley is probably rented. Now I notice the title of the video here. I retired rich at age 27, and this is how I did it. Now the first thing I noticed about this channel is the amount of uploads. If you go to the front of his channel and you go to videos here, it looks like he uploads every day. Here's 13 hours ago. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. Dan Locke uploads every day. Now the reason I'm mentioning him uploading every day is because right here it says, I retired rich at age 27, and this is how I did it. Now when you upload every day, that is a full-time job. Just uploading and editing every video is about 8 to 14 hours of work. If you look at the video title, Retired age 27, well, I can tell you from experience, uploading every day is not retired. It's a full-time job, including commenting, writing scripts, editing, a full-time job. Now let's go ahead and watch some of this.
I want to share with you exactly how I retired at the age of 27. how I did it, and maybe how you could do it as well. Started my first business when I was in high school, just with a couple of buddies mowing lawns for people in our neighborhoods. That's my very first business. There are three things.
Now I noticed the word he used, entrepreneur. That word is another sign for a guru that gives bad advice. Also, the mowing of lawn.
So the very first thing is this. I focus on developing what I call high income skills. You see, the first 5 years of my business career, when I was getting started, the first
5 years of his business career mowing lawns. Now I want to mention again, every 1,000 views, YouTube is paying Dan. So the more you watch, the more money he makes. Oh, by the way, I thought I'd show you this website here. This is a luxury car rental website. You can rent a Mercedes, Lamborghini, Ferrari, a lot of nice cars here. This car right here, this is probably the one that Dan rented. Looks just like it. Next, Lopez. I wanted to mention he's the exotic car fake jet king of YouTube. Fake guru. All his uploads are just about rambling, about how much money he made, waste of time, full of bad advice. He is also the king of junk ads, selling you programs. His programs cost anywhere from $70 to $1,000. He's got 2 channels, Ty Lopez, and his second one is the Ty Lopez fan page. I was looking real close at Ty Lopez fan page, and I noticed his latest video here has 4 views. This one has 13 views. This one has 109. Let's go ahead and watch his top video here.
Use this cash. Just got back from the bank. I'm giving away $10,000, $1,000 a day to my Instagram followers. So, and then every day I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna look at people who like. So go ahead and like every post I do.
More bad advice. He asks you to like his posts so he can get more YouTube views and likes. Next, Gary V. Let's watch a little bit of his F-bomb laden bad advice.
98% of people are sitting on 50-50 their whole life, which means they're 0-0. So when you're 50-50, you get one day, and anything else is flip a coin to pick the one and never look back.
Anybody out there? I have a big life decision to make.
What I've noticed about Gary V, the F-bombs, the bad t-shirts, all he does is rant and ramble about himself. He's not real flashy. He's also kind of unkept. Just woke up look, that bad breath look. Let's watch some of his YouTube videos.
Such disproportionate self-esteem in me without creating entitlement. When I was nice to people, she out of it. When I struck out in a game, she didn't make pretense. A fine line. How many people here consume my content?
Again, I noticed the bad t-shirts. I noticed the F-bombs. Just bad advice all the way around. Also, I noticed when you go look at his channel that he uploads every day. If you look here, we've got 11 hours ago. Here we've got 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, 1 week ago. He pretty much uploads every day. More and more ranting and rambling so he can get more views. He can throw more F-bombs so he can sell $120 to $1,200 tickets for his seminars. Okay, now on to the positive channels. I want to go over a few channels here to show you some excellent substitutes. Y Combinator. It's all about startups. They've got some great content here. Very positive channel. Very business oriented. Great channel. Next, HubSpot is a great channel. Got a lot of good information here. A lot of good content. What HubSpot is, they're a software company. They actually have a free version of their program that is actually really good, the CRM. It works for sales, maybe a real estate agent. Great channel. Love it, HubSpot. Very positive. Next, Bill Gates. Great channel, a lot of good information, very positive, excellent channel. Next, CNBC. You can't miss CNBC. A lot of good information here, information about companies, information about millennials, some great content here. Great channel. Love it. Forbes. Great positive channel here. Great content. They only upload about every week, but very positive. Great channel. Next, Graham Stephan. Graham Stephan is a real estate agent. He talks about credit cards. He talks about saving money. Great channel, very positive. Definitely recommend to subscribe to this one. Now, last but not least, I want to mention an Alice Cooper interview. Alice Cooper, the rock star. There is a channel that he did a interview on. The name of the channel is Greg Laurie. He talks a little bit about rock and roll history. He talks a little bit about some of the great rock and roll bands, Bob Dylan, the Stones, and the Beatles. It's called God, Drugs, Rock and Roll, an interview with Alice Cooper. It's on a channel from Greg Laurie. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit.
Alice, thanks for having me at your place here. It's called The Rock, right?
This is The Rock. Yeah, we started about 20 years ago, trying to find a place for kids to go where they could, an alternative to what's on the street, basically. And I watched a couple of 16-year-old kids do it.
Now, this is an hour-long video, but I would definitely recommend watching it. A lot of great information about Alice, his life, and rock and roll history.
A drug deal on the corner, and I went, how does that kid not know he might be a great guitar player? Or that other kid might be a drummer? And it just struck me right then, why don't we open that, give them that alternative to go there, and it ended up here.
That's incredible, and I know you're impacting a lot of young people here, and they come in and they wonder what's the catch, but you're just doing something for your community.
And it's not only that, but it's all Christian. We're all Christian guys, and Lord told us to do it, so we just obeyed. That's all.
So speaking of that, when I've told people, I met Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper.
Now, this is a great video, very positive. Love Alice Cooper. He's got some great music. Check out the video. Now, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and put in the comments, Fake Guru. This company is out of Los Angeles. We've got a Learjet on a trailer with no wings. Now go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next video. One moment. Okay, here it is. This is a channel by Shane Hummus. He's got a video here, Investing Guru Tier List. Love this video. It's about 12 minutes long. It is great. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Is more important than how to be a financially literate adult. A lot of us end up getting our financial advice from YouTube, and this advice ranges from really good to absolutely horrible. And unfortunately, most of the advice here on YouTube is a little bit on the absolutely horrible side. So without further ado, I present to you the investing tier list. All right, so first up on the list, we got Uncle Grant. That's right, Grant Cardonis Maximus Perfectus V. This man loves flexing all of his cash and giving unsolicited financial advice more than anybody else on YouTube.
You're collecting Lambos, and I'm buying gold streams.
The only problem here is he is one of the many financial gurus that thinks the 401k is a scam, even though if you have matching, it's literally free money.
Watch this show today. I'm going to reveal some things to you about the 401 and the K.
401k all day.
Yeah,
But it's okay. He offers an alternative solution for you, which is investing in his company, Cardone Capital.
It's a real business. It's a real business.
So for that reason, Grant is going to go in F tier. F for flex and fish.
Guys, I got fish.
All right, next up on the list, it is Graham Stephen. Now, usually I have a very strict rule that I never trust anybody who has two first names, but I have to say Graham Stephen would be the one exception to this rule. Graham is basically the personal finance version of the good guy Greg meme. And for that, Graham is gonna go in S tier. S for smash that like button. All right, so next on the list is a really popular one. He's been around for a long time, long before YouTube even came along, and that is Dave Ramsey. Now, Dave tells people that they should cut up their credit cards and they should never get in debt. And this is honestly really, really amazing advice if you're somebody who has almost no self-control whatsoever. So for that reason, I'm gonna put him in S tier next to Graham. The only problem with this is the people that watch my channel, my subscribers, are really smart. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to demote him down to D tier. D for Dave. All right, so the next one on the list is going to be Jeremy from Financial Education. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of stock picking, and that's what his channel is all about, analyzing stocks and picking the winners. I think there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that it's better to just put your money in an index fund, or even dividends are quite a bit better than your normal stock picking. But if I was somebody who was gonna watch a channel about picking individual stocks, Jeremy would be my guy. He's awesome. And I'm also 99% sure that I saw him at a sports bar in a casino one time when I was in Las Vegas. And so for that reason, I'm gonna have to put Jeremy in A tier. A for alcoholic. Jeremy also has a second channel, Financial Education 2, that's basically exactly like his first channel. So for that reason, I'll put another one there. All right, so the next one on the list is gonna be none other than Nate O'Brien. That's right. Nate might be the most relatable person on this list. He seems like a normal human being that just happens to be passionate about personal finance. Doesn't seem like he has any angles or anything like that. I really like Nate a lot. He also gives really good advice, especially if you're young. So for that reason, I would put him in S tier. The only problem is Nate has freakishly broad shoulders. So I don't know if there's even enough room for him in S tier, so I'm just gonna have to put him in B tier. B for broad shoulders. Seriously, if Justin Bieber and Michael Phelps had a child, it would basically be Nate O'Brien. All right, so next on the list is gonna be Andre Jik? Yeah, we'll go with that. Now, Andre is great, and I agree with almost everything he says. There's a few things I disagree with him, but the problem with his channel is he's got that stupid light in the background. That's the same exact light that's in the background of Graham Stephan's videos. And so for that reason, I'm gonna have to put him in S tier, right in Graham's shadow. All right, so next on the list is Minority Mindset. And basically, he is another guy who says you shouldn't invest in a 401k, even though it's literally free money. I don't know why people ever say that. Is it to be edgy? Like, are you trying to give edgy advice? I don't understand. It's free money. The company.
This is a great video, by the way. It kind of reminds me of Frogger, like Guru or fake Guru Frogger.
He gives you free money. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put him in F tier, F for 401k hater. But honestly, he is kind of funny, so I guess I'll bump him up to C tier. All right, so next on the list is Ryan Scribner. And I gotta give it to Ryan. I feel like he might be the most creative person in the personal finance space. Like, he'll release a bunch of super random videos that nobody else has done, and then one of them will blow up, and then all of a sudden 700 different people copy his video. It's kind of funny. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put him in C tier for creative. All right, so next on the list is gonna be Beat the Bush, and I actually couldn't find this guy's name online. I try to use everybody's name, but basically he's all about like minimalism and being cheap and early retirement, you know, the FIRE movement, all that sort of thing. Now, I was gonna put him in B tier because he does give really good advice. I really like him, but unfortunately Nate was taking up B tier with his ridiculously broad shoulders, so I had to bump him down to C tier. Next on the list is gonna be Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin is really funny. He likes exposing people, calls a lot of people out, and he puts out an ungodly amount of content. Like, seriously, how do you put up that much content? It's crazy. Sometimes he'll put up like multiple videos a day. And his favorite videos are the ones where he goes around exposing people. So for that reason, I'm gonna put Kevin in E tier. E for exposed. All right, so next on the list is gonna be Chelsea from The Financial Diet. And Chelsea gives really great advice. She's super cool. I've noticed lately that she's trying to outsource the content on her channel, like doing a bunch of cartoons and stuff, so it's kind of all over the place. Not a big fan, but oh well, I'm still gonna put her in S tier. S for Superwoman. Next on the list is gonna be Marco from Whiteboard Finance, and Marco might make some of my personal favorite videos. He really breaks things down simply with the whiteboard. You know, with me having the attention span of a goldfish, sometimes I need people to write things out. And my girlfriend also says he's the best looking out of all of them on YouTube. So for that, I'm gonna have to put him in S tier. S for Steal Your Girl. Next on the list is Kevin David. And if you remember a few minutes back to what I told you, never trust anybody who has two first names. And this is a perfect example. F tier for you, Kevin. All right, next on the list is going to be Andrew and Katie from 2 Cents. And these guys clearly have an audience demographic that's younger than most of the other ones on this list. They kind of make videos that are more suited for children, obviously. But I really love what they teach. I think what they teach is awesome. It's what they should be teaching in school, but for some reason they don't. And if I had a kid, I would probably make them watch these videos, but me, myself, personally, watching them, I'm gonna have to pass on that. So I will put them in A tier for, I would have to be drinking a lot of alcohol to enjoy these videos. All right, so next on the list, there's way too many people that do this, but basically anybody who recommends investing in cryptocurrency. This doesn't mean putting a little bit of money in cryptocurrency. I mean, I still have some money on the market myself. A few years back, me and my friends put a bunch of money into cryptocurrency. It was super fun. We were all making money. We were having a great time. And then it crashed. A lot of us ended up losing a lot of money. I have no problem with cryptocurrency as long as you realize and you're fully aware of the fact that you're gambling. It is gambling. So if you're okay with gambling, you only put as much in as you're willing to lose, cryptocurrency is great. But a lot of these guys talk about it like as if you're investing, and it is not investing. So for that reason, I'll have to put it in B tier. Just kidding, Nate's still taking up B tier. It's gonna go in F tier. All right, this is the one we've been waiting for. The OG Big Daddy Tai motherfucking Lopez. Now, I think we all know that, you know, Tai is a little bit of a guru, but you gotta give him credit for being one of the very first gurus to use YouTube to sell his overpriced courses. And also one of the first people to figure out that you can grow your YouTube channel by blasting people with cringy ads. But like I said before, we got to give him some credit for at least being a trailblazer, being the first one to do it. So for that, I'm gonna have to put him in C tier. C for cringe.
Knowledge.
Okay, so next on the list is going to be Tai Lopez's army. And this is basically all of the fake gurus that followed Tai's lead. You know who I'm talking about. The 17-year-olds that are, you know, teaching you how to, you know, make your life better and make 7 figures a month on Shopify. All these cringy people that followed Tai's lead. I think everybody knows to not follow their advice at all, but they do make extremely good comedy. Like if you ever want to laugh a little bit, just go watch one of their channels. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put them in A tier. A for ad block. All right, so next on the list is going to be anybody who recommends day trading. And there are hundreds and hundreds of channels on YouTube that recommend this. You know, you've got your guys that recommend like penny stocks, like Timothy Sykes and all these other channels. And this is despite the fact that it's well documented that I think it's over 90-95% of day traders lose money. Not they don't make money, they actually lose money. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put them even below the crypto guys in H tier. This is what this is. This is H tier, H for hell. Run away from anybody who recommends day trading. It is a horrible investment. Next on the list is gonna be Robert Kiyosaki. And he wrote a really, really good book back in the day called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where it talks about, you know, the difference between assets and liabilities. Really did a great job explaining like really basic financial concepts in a way that anybody can understand. So he was a trailblazer in that way. But lately, I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos popping up where he just gives extremely edgy advice, and it's like 15 different channels. I don't know if he's paying them to do this or he created 15 different channels, or maybe he's just that popular that other people just create channels completely dedicated to him. I don't know. But it just seems a little sketchy. The videos that are uploaded have these extremely clickbaity titles that treat poor people like they're some kind of mutant animal or something like that, and they're just so stupid.
But I like gold because gold is God's money.
And they say if you don't do this one thing, you're gonna be poor for the rest of your life. Just really horrible titles like that. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put him in E tier. E for edgy. Just kidding, since he invests in God's money, I'm gonna have to put him in H tier for heaven. And everybody else is in the shadow realm. Okay guys, do me a really quick favor as an experiment. Turn around, get out of your chair, do a 360, look at your computer again, and then absolutely hip thrust the like button to oblivion. And then after you're done doing that, hit the subscribe button, ring the little notification bell, and comment down below.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next video. One moment. This is a channel here by Mike Winnett. He's got a video called The Wantrepeneur Formula Exposed live event. It is a great video. I'm going to go ahead and play just a little bit of it here, and then I'm going to show you another video after that.
Struggle to success. How they were sat exactly where you were a couple of years earlier. I've been where you are now. I've sat in those chairs, working hard, not getting what I deserve.
Now this video actually got took down, by the way, but he redid it and he put it back up. So I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Do you want to know what changed and why I'm on stage today? I invested in myself, people. Hands up if you all want to invest in yourself to achieve your dreams. Good. I promise you, you'll regret it if you don't. Cue the low production video of the main guy.
Hey, I'm about to go speak to 5,000 people.
This is a really great channel. I would recommend it. Mike Winnett.
Why I'm on stage today?
He has coined the frame Wantrepeneur. Love this channel. Great, lot of great content. Okay, here's a great channel that's by Captain Sinbad. And here he is kind of making fun of Gary Vaynerchuk. Great little video. Go ahead and check it out. It's a little bit on the raw side, but it's a good one. Okay, here's the next video I was going to show. This is exposing fake YouTube gurus and the business of selling courses. Graham Stephan.
With no employees.
We'll go ahead and watch a little bit of it.
No overhead, no office, no physical product, and nothing but a computer, an internet connection, and something to teach. There are 3 billion people on the internet, and when you find the winning formula to convert a cold audience and turn eyeballs into dollars, your potential is as much as you want. And that brings us to present day, where information changes and moves so quickly that many college classes simply can't keep up. By the time they end up crafting a curriculum around what works, the techniques have already changed, and it's really difficult to be at the forefront of anything digital. But oftentimes an individual can knock out up-to-date information in a matter of a few weeks or months, have it up and running, be able to adapt as quickly as needed. And this almost makes the college curriculum obsolete. Now obviously more and more people are catching on to the YouTube sales technique as it becomes more common, and more people flood into the information sales industry for quick short-term profits. The more people begin selling information, just like any industry, the higher the chances of seeing unscrupulous people that give the legitimate people a bad image. But the bigger question is, why does selling information work so well? And why do so many people want to sell their information in the first place? And also, it's not to mention the saying, those that can't do, teach. And as much as people don't want to hear or admit it, the reality is that often selling information is much more profitable than actually doing what you're teaching, for the simple reason that it's highly scalable. For instance, it's not uncommon for someone to make $200,000 per year in a business. Let's just call it social media marketing. But having the ability to teach other people how to make $200,000 per year can often generate $500,000 per year or up to $1 million or more per year. It's a lot like selling the shovel during a gold rush, and while you can absolutely make a killing and make money digging for gold, you'll oftentimes make more money selling the product that helps the person get the goal in the first place. Now, this isn't a revolutionary concept by any means, and this has been around for quite some time. Although the mediums from which this information is shared is constantly changing. And right now, it seems to be a mix between YouTube and Instagram. And is it reasonable to charge someone to learn something when pretty much everything they need to know is already online for free? And I'll be the first to openly admit that I was the type that fell into that category. I was vehemently against selling anything online. I didn't offer any coaching, I didn't immediately monetize my videos, and I spent hours every single day making free YouTube videos and answering long-winded comments, Snapchats, and DMs with the expectation of getting absolutely nothing in return. Well, now I think it's no surprise that 18 months later, I offer a paid program for those that want to learn the business of becoming a real estate agent. And in addition to that, I take paid coaching calls anywhere from $150 to $250 for a 45-minute phone call. So what happened here? Am I a sellout? Am I a scam artist? Am I taking advantage of people? After all, I started this channel with absolutely no end goal in mind, with no objective, and just to have fun as a hobby. Now, at that point, the concept of monetizing anything was extremely foreign to me. And because of that, I had a very surface level perception of what it was like. And coincidentally, I had a very black and white opinion of what it actually meant to sell information. My mindset was give it all away for free, and if you don't do that, you're taking advantage of people. But hear me out on this one. The distinction I wasn't aware of before selling information, much like many people out there watching this, is that selling information did not need to be a win-lose transaction. It's often the misinterpretation that it's okay to give out as much free value as you possibly can. But as soon as you make any money from it, all of a sudden it becomes a win-lose transaction where your gain comes at the customer's expense and loss. And while this
No, this kind of makes sense. I like what he's saying, but I don't like it at the same time. But you've got to really take a look at some of these programs very closely before you decide to put money out there.
absolutely can be true in some circumstances, the reality is often much less black and white. So consider this as a purely hypothetical example, and I have a feeling that this alone will change your perception on selling information. Let's just say
You've probably heard that selling...
Okay, let me go ahead and get past this 1 second. Just an ad, annoying ad.
You 25 cents to watch my videos. In fact, let's just...
Okay, sorry about that. I got past that ad.
Say you pay 25 cents just to watch this video. I'm probably going to spend anywhere between 8 to 10 hours crafting this video for you to watch. That includes coming up with a topic, planning it out, spending 3 hours filming it, spending much longer than that editing it, coming up with a thumbnail and a description and everything else that goes into crafting the perfect YouTube video that I could possibly make. Now that doesn't take into account the $2,100 that I spent in camera, audio, and lighting equipment, or the $2,800 I spent on a MacBook Pro computer to better edit videos on. And it doesn't take into account the $18,000 I spent creating this YouTube studio so you guys will have a visually appealing video to watch. So there's a lot of time, effort, production, and money that goes into making a very simple 15 to 18 minute YouTube video that hopefully you guys enjoy and find educational. Now with all of this considered, any reasonable person would probably conclude that he's spending 8 to 10 hours creating this video, has 10 years of real estate experience that I can learn from, spent $23,000 in overhead costs so I can watch this video and have an enjoyable experience doing so. And in return, it's only costing me 25 cents. This seems like a good deal, and I am getting by far my 25 cents worth of value. But then you have to ask yourself, why is Graham only charging me 25 cents? What's wrong with that? If his time is worth $250 an hour, and he's spending 8 hours of his time making this video for me to only spend 25 cents on, that's $2,000 worth of his time. So something doesn't quite add up. But you know what? I don't care because I'm getting more than 25 cents worth of value. And if he's going to take it, okay, let's not ask any more questions. Here you go, Graham. Transaction done. But this is where scalability comes into effect. Even though you only paid 25 cents and got way more value than what you paid, I benefit from tens of thousands of people watching my videos and doing exactly that. In this purely hypothetical example where you paid 25 cents to watch this video, if this single video gets 20,000 views.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next Fake Guru video. Okay, here it is.
Fighting.
All right, so I'm sure as many of you already know, Grant Cardone went on Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street's podcast last week, and this was a long time coming. Last year,
This is another video here. Grant Cardone exposed by the Wolf of Wall Street. It's Braden Wurich.
sometime Grant Cardone put down Jordan Belfort and essentially was saying that he was a better salesperson. If you don't know Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, he's built his entire brand on him having one of the best, if not the best, sales training programs, and then the same with Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone really started his kind of way to entrepreneurial fame and having success with his sales training program. So this was supposed to be kind of the face-off between two sales giants, and everybody was looking forward to it to essentially get some great gold information out on how to sell. I watched this podcast over the weekend, and this